Lovely, 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 wonderful, beautiful, handsome people. A pleasant evening to everybody. All right, beautiful people. So, no, listen to me now, wonderful people. So, I was listening to this man on Instagram, and he was saying, I don't understand you men. You talk about when the women reach their 30s, 40s, and so on, that there are changes, because they're getting older. I guess the bodies are not going to be as fully vigorous and filled with vitality, vim, and all these things, as when they're in their, 20s, late teens, as in 18 and over, and 20s, so when they begin to hit 35 and onwards, everything is going downhill naturally. The baby that was just born, the next minute, he or she's a minute older, so nobody's getting younger. So there has to be changes as you get older. That's a natural thing, and you're talking about, I guess maybe she doesn't have much to bring to the table in a sexual sense. And he says, but look at you men, putting yourselves at a 10 when you're at a 2. You're lucky that he's mentioned you being at a 2 because, my take on it is that you're probably in the negative, when they say below 0, negative such and such, because it's actually below 0. And he said, you come with your erectile dysfunctionality, your big belly, your knee cup them just a twip twip clap 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 clap. You probably vaguely have energy. If you do not have erectile dysfunctionality, your thing can't stay up for longer than a minute. That is how the 1 minute man thing was created. If it actually goes, and it may not even really go up to 60 seconds, it may be less than 60 seconds. Cataract killing you, glaucoma is screaming out, and yet you're talking about, oh, these women are asking the men what they're bringing to the table, and they can't bring certain things to the table, especially when they're 35 and over. And some of you, you're married for many years. I mean, you're going to have ups and downs in your relationships. And you probably, for the most part, you would say that your relationship was good. But because you want something new and exciting, because it stimulates you as men, you leave your good wife or you leave your 80% for 20. And the 20% is usually just the figure, the body, And then when you start to engage with the 20%, you realize 80% is missing, and you cannot do without that 80%. And you want to return to the 80% that you left, or the 70 to 80% that you left. And too late is your cry. Some of you may never wonder why it's like nothing that you do materializes. It doesn't come to fruition. It falters, it falls through. It doesn't spark, it goes nowhere because of the things that you do to your spouses, to your girlfriends, to your fiancés, to your wives. And I don't know if you think that God is blind, or he's deaf, or he's dumb, and he's not aware of what is happening. He's more fully functional than the most healthy person on this planet. If God was ill, his worst illness is still better than our best health. If he were that kind of a God, his worst illness is better by leaps and bounds our best health. God is a God of justice. I want you to understand the foundations and the makeup of God. He's a God of justice, a God of fairness. He has to execute justice. So you men that get up and treat your women with disdain and treat them bad and talk about how the woman is this, that, and the third, within a cataract self, glaucoma eyes, bad knees, erectile dysfunctionality self, big belly self, rum belly self, drunky self, bad breath self, thinking foot self. For the day coming, you know that? For the day coming, and we should be ashamed of ourselves as men, It seems as if they need to swap anatomy, and you take the woman's vagina and she takes your penis, because you want this princess treatment, you know, that is reserved for the woman, because the prince treatment is reserved for you. But we can't call you valiant man, because you don't even reach a V to the A to become. You can't even call val man. Moreover, valiant man. It is a shame and a disgrace with some of you men. The kind of thing. It's a shame and a disgrace with some of you men. The kind of thing that you want, you know, that really is reserved for the woman, and some things are reserved for you. That is why God made us the two sexes, you know, male and female. There's a reason behind it, you know. There is method in the madness, and I use the word madness very loosely. There is method to his excellent creation. And if we had just followed suit or followed the order, we would, I'm telling you, our troubles and our trials would be very minimal. Very, very minimal. 70-80% of what we go through, it's humankind cause it. Humankind cause it. Man is greedy. Man is avaricious. Cannot be satisfied in so many different things. You have your good wife and you leave because you say she's not agile. You agile? You can, I guarantee you that usually when the woman, especially after 40, they say that is when life begins. She is more agile than you. It's like them say you can't done a woman, she can't done. She don't care what age. I was listening to it was Beverly Manley, and she's in her 80s. I think she was promoting her book. And I remember watching the interview with her, and this who was interviewing her again, I don't even remember. You know, and she said, boy, she don't know that her husband had passed, the second husband there. You know, she don't know what she's going to do for sex. Uno man, by the time you touch 40, you know, uno go doctor because uno fretting that you can't have any sex anymore. And this woman there wondering at 80 odd what she's going to do now for sex. Eh? And when I talk about when them touch 35, 40, you don't want to, Lord, let me just reserve some things, you know. It's best to not say certain things. That's why I mean, I know, now 7 or 11 or 12 or 13. A lot of you men, you don't respect women. And it's like everything that you touch turns to trash. You can't prosper. 1 Peter 3:7. Go and read it. Peter says, husbands, be careful not to embitter your wives. Don't treat them bad. Do not abuse them. Because if you do, your prayers will be hindered. God is aware that men are physically stronger than us. And that is a major part why you say you men will physically abuse. Because you know that 8 to 9 out of 10 times a woman can't manhandle you. She can't manage you physically. She can't. That's why the women strong with their lips and their words. They will come at you with their lips, but they can't physically come at you. And many of you are aware of this, and that is why you on the roads, you treat the women with disrespect. You because you know that she can't physically fight you back. She cannot. And you have your backing. But women have their backing, God Almighty. And that is why many of you see how your lives just going in shambles. Shambles because of the bad treatment of women. I don't know which God you think is not well, I don't know which God you think you serve. I know the one that I serve has my back. You treat me bad, I'm going to beat you, go and come. And woman has her accountability, of course, if she doesn't do right. But I'm talking about you men. When I look especially in our Jamaican context, how I hear men speak about women and speak to women, it is a shame and a disgrace. And many of you are going to live to regret it. You better pray that there doesn't come a day where you just see the women pull back from you. Many of you, I don't know, not start mad out. Or not start mad right out. But when she reach such and such, you don't want to lick cross on her head back or cross on her ears temple. Anyway, guys, you know what to do with TikTok and YouTube. subscribe, give me one of those lions.